Okay, I'm going to wait and make sure that my wife is going to let me know if you can see the screen. All right. Are we good? Okay. All right. Well, welcome everybody. This is Darren Kidd, and we appreciate you taking some time to be on this training today. And I'm going to tell you, I put a lot of time, energy, and effort into this training to make sure that I deliver to you the most powerful training I possibly can within the amount of time that we have together. I will tell you that at the end of the presentation, there's an opportunity for those that want to take it to the next level to be able to do that. But we're going to go ahead and get right into the information that you registered for. And let me just give you a warning right up front. I do talk fast, but if we were open and live, well, we are live, but if I had where I could see you and I could see your hands, I would ask you this question: do you want me to talk slower and give you less training, or talk faster and really double the amount of information that you're going to get on this call? I'm pretty sure that most of you would say, hey, go ahead and talk fast. We're going to write fast. We're going to listen fast, and give me as much information as I possibly can. So we're going to do that. So the first slide, most people struggle when it comes to network marketing is because they do not know how to prospect and they do not know how to recruit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some recruiting secrets, 3 keys to becoming a recruiting machine, even if you don't know where to start. So maybe some of you are brand new, maybe some of you are seasoned veterans in network marketing, you've been in for a while, maybe you're just not having the success that you would like to have. That's where I'm going to help you on this training today. So my goal is to get you started with some tips and techniques to help you understand how to prospect, recruit, and build your team. My gift to you at the end of the presentation, so for those of you that stay on to the very end, okay, what I'm going to do is we're going to pull a file at the end of this recording. It shows who stayed on to the end. And then what we're going to do in the next day or so, we're going to email you this brand new objection blaster that I've spent the last 2 weeks going, okay, what are some of the top objections? What are the things that have really helped me when it comes to overcoming objections and helping more people get started? And I put $197 value on this. To be honest with you, it is worth a lot more because if I can teach you some things to go out there and overcome some objections, what if you recruited an extra couple people a month? What if you were able to get an extra few customers a month with learning how to handle the most common objections and how to have the right posture and what to say and what to do? That is going to be my free gift to you at the end of this training. My story. I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but I remember being so excited. It was actually a strength coach. I only went to college for a year and a half, and it was a strength coach that introduced me to network marketing. And, our family, we struggled our entire life. And so when I heard about network marketing, I'm like, you know what? This is my opportunity, to have some time freedom and financial freedom and to have a different lifestyle, for my family in the future. However, didn't quite go that well. Didn't quite go the way that I expected. I actually failed for 7 solid years. Got to the point, told my wife, I will never do it again. I am done. I even remember telling her, even if it's at church on Sunday, right? If somebody approaches me about any type of home-based business, I'm just going to lay hands on them. I'm going to say I was praying for them, right? Now, I wasn't going to do that, but that's really the way that I felt, okay? I don't know if any of you have ever felt that way. So finally, right, after 7 years of failing, I had the right mentors that came into my life. And that's when I found out the power of having a mentor to teach me from their experience, because you don't really want to have to spend years trying to figure out what to do right, when if you have the mentor, the coach, and you can learn from their experience. They spent years trying to figure out what to do right. You learn from them, and then you can shave that time off your learning curve. So just a little bit about me. I've been in network marketing since 1991. Again, I was in college. You heard the kind of failed for 7 years. Since I learned what to do, what not to do, I've been able to personally recruit over 1,000 people. And you may go, wow, there's no way I could ever do that. Yes, you can. It's about time and exposures and some of the things I'm going to share with you on this training. And then also, too, if you can recruit 1, you can recruit 2. If you can recruit 2, you can recruit 3. So I'll teach you some of the key things when it comes to doing that. I've built teams of, several 100,000 distributors all over the world. I've been able to, fortunate to be multiple 7-figure earner. But what's more important to me is I've been able to help thousands of people around the world become prospecting and recruiting machines. People that thought they didn't even have a chance. And I'm like, listen, trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. And I've taught them the simple steps that I'm going to teach you. And they've been able to go out there and also duplicate and have a lot of success. So to me, I'm more proud of that than I am anything. Featured in Successful Home Magazine 6 times. In the book, The 4-Year Career by Richard Bliss Brooke. Interviewed by Grant Cardone, who is everywhere now. I was on a TV show with him, and then featured in other books and publications as well. And the only reason I'm sharing that with you is because, yes, we can learn something from anyone, right? Sometimes it's what not to do. But if I have someone that's already been there and they've done that, I would rather listen to that person so I can try to get there a little bit sooner than later. And I hope that makes sense to you. This is a little bit about my life, some things that I love to do. I love to work out. I love my family. We've got 5 kids from 26 down to 15, and I love to have fun. So if any of you, if you like to have fun, if you love to help people, if you love to make a difference, love your family, love to make an impact, then guess what? We have some things in common, but that's just a little bit about me. I'm very fortunate to be where I am right now. My wife and I have now been stay-at-home parents for, over 20 years, which I tell people, hey, listen, you have to be careful, because you can have a bunch of kids if you work from home. And so what I'm going to teach you over the next little bit is I want to teach you the attitude and philosophy that it takes when prospecting, recruiting, and building a team. I want to teach you the process of teach you how to speed up your recruiting and get to where you want to be faster. You can move at your own pace. You can walk, you can sprint, you can do whatever you want to do. But in my opinion, and a lot of other top money earners, it is easier to move fast than it is to move slow. And when you get that momentum kicking in, then what happens is like a snowball. If a snowball is rolling down a hill, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually, if you get in front of it, you become a part of it. And so the way to create that momentum is really to go out there and you can do short little bursts of energy. And I'm going to show you how to speed up the prospecting, recruiting, and team building. I want to show you how to approach prospects without using hard pressure tactics, without trying to, sell them and all that. Because let's face it, none of us like to be sold. We don't like those hard pressure, those techniques where they go, hey, look for them to twitch their eye and, and move this way and then go for the jugular. We don't like that stuff. So I'm going to teach you, and let's face it, well, I'm going to get into that in just a second, but you don't want to pressure somebody that doesn't want to be a customer, that doesn't want to join your business. You're looking for the lookers. And so I'm also going to show you what it takes when it comes to having effective follow-up. Okay, how do you follow up effectively? Because if you're not following up, you're working a lot harder than you really have to, because it's a very important part of the prospecting, recruiting, and team building process. And then I'm going to show you how to recruit 2 to 5 people a month, whether you're part-time or spare time, with what you're doing right now. People that say, look, I'm busy. We're all busy. Tony Robbins talks about, one lady, we were at a conference and he's like, tell me what your challenge is. And this lady raised her hand and I'm like, I'm not raising my hand, right? Standing up in front of 15,000 people, and he is going to crush her excuse. And he did. She's like, I just don't have any time. And he said, isn't that interesting? Because that's the only thing, like, that every single person on the planet has the exact thing. We all have 24 hours in a day. But if you're like me, extremely busy, a lot of things going on, how do you build this around your busy life? Okay, I'm going to give you some strategies and techniques and things that I do to do that. A little more of my story, okay? I am a hot trainer. And obviously, I'm not talking about all this. Some of you are like, Darren, I can see you on the screen. You're not a hot trainer. What do I mean by hot trainer? Honest, open, and transparent. I don't think I'm doing you any favors when it comes to telling you things that aren't realistic, right? So I like to share my stories about what I've been through, because, and you know what, you want to make sure that you're you're enjoying your stories because you're writing chapters in the book that later are going to motivate and inspire other people. If I wasn't transparent with you, then, and if I said, look, I got in, everybody joined, everybody got started, everybody signed up, everybody rank advanced. I don't know what's wrong with all of you. Every single one of you would click end right now because you're like, I can't even relate to that. What motivates and inspires people when I train is I'm honest, I'm open, and I'm transparent. I'm going to tell you exactly like it is, whether you like it or you don't. That's why you're on this training. I would rather you respect me and be wealthy than like me and be broke. I'm here to push you to the bank. I'm here to push you out of your comfort zone. This is a locker room training. This is because you want people in your life that tell you what you need to hear and not necessarily what you want to hear. And that's who I am today. I'm your friend, right? And when you get off here, if you go out and really, if there's no tie to me and you, besides I want to help you. I want you to be able to come back and go, oh my gosh, here's where I was before. And I got on one of Daring Kids trainings and I learned some simple things and I put them into action. And let me tell you what happened in my business and in my life after that. That's my goal. So when I first joined network marketing, I was like pretty much all of you on this training. I was so excited, right? I just knew this was it. Like I've won the lottery. This is going to change your life and it's going to happen so fast. We're going to get rich quick, and I also thought that I was very naive, that everybody that I knew, loved, and cared about would also see what I see. And let's face it, sometimes those people, it just doesn't hurt bad enough. It's like the farmer that had the dog under the porch and the neighbor's walking by and he goes, hey, mister, your dog is laying on a nail. And the old farmer in his rocking chair said, hey, don't worry about it. When it hurts bad enough, he'll get up and move. So some of our friends and family, it just doesn't hurt bad enough. You throw them the life jacket, they don't even grab it. And so it's really important to understand that most people are not going to see what you see. They're not going to see what I see. There's a reason that at age 65, 97% of the people are broke. But I just thought it was going to be like taking candy from a baby. I'm like, who wouldn't want to go out there and have better health with the products or save money with their services or make additional income with what they're doing right now on a part-time, spare time basis? Who wouldn't want to have time freedom or financial freedom? Who wouldn't want to work from home? I was in for a rude awakening when I got started. So there's just one problem. None of that happened for me. May have happened for you, did not happen for me. But I learned that it is not the easy times that make us grow, and my obstacles, they became my blessings. The obstacle is the blessing because it's not the easy times that make us grow. I used to get mad at the problems, and then I learned that it's the size of the problem that I can solve determines the size of the paycheck. So when people would steal my products, and I used to get so upset, I'm like, later I learned if I can't handle somebody stealing one of my bottles of product at that time, right? Or somebody not calling me back or someone not showing up to an event, how in the world was I going to handle other challenges? So the challenges, the easy times can be a stumbling block. I'm sorry, the challenging times, not the easy ones, the challenging times can be a stumbling block or a building block, right? If you look at a rubber band, it's only useful when it's stretched, when it has tension. Your muscles only grow in the gym when you're putting stress and tension on those muscles. So embrace the process. Understand it's an emotional roller coaster, okay? And you want it to be, because when you have the right attitude, you're not just going to go through the challenges, you're going to grow through the challenges. And so I became more and more frustrated. After 7 years of failing, I can pretty much tell you I was a part of the NFL, the No Friends Left Club. We ended up bankrupt. Okay, when our 20-year-old was born, we were on applying for food stamps. We were on government assistance, car repossessed. I'm a college dropout. My wife's a college dropout. I went to the doctor for depression. Didn't have a lot of hope. I'm like, man, what kind of hope do I have? We live in a small town. Even to this day, we're up to 5 traffic lights. I think our town is 1,500 people or something like that, and our county, which goes out for many miles, is about 10,000 people. So I still am living in the very small town that I grew up in and was raised in. And I'm like, what hope do I have? I didn't know where to find people to talk to about my products, services, or opportunity. I didn't know what to say to people. I didn't know how to talk to people when it comes to prospecting and recruiting. And then what really frustrated me, I don't know if any of you can relate to this, when people would say, treat it like a business. And I'm like, okay, you're a business. I'd never had my own business. To be honest with you, at that time, I wish that someone would have said, Darren, treat it like a minimum wage job. You've had minimum wage jobs. And I'm like, yes, I have. They tell you when you show up. If I was 2 minutes late more than twice, I would have to go straight to the office, to my boss. I was in trouble. They told me when I got break, if I wanted break or not, when I got lunch, whether I was hungry or not. And what was amazing is they could predict how many days a year I was going to be sick, because they go, this is how many sick days you get, right? And they dictated what I was worth. I didn't dictate what I was worth. So it was definitely, challenging times. If they just said treat it like a minimum wage job, it would have made more sense to me. But you are the CEO of You Inc. YOU. The good thing is you're in business for yourself. You're not in business by yourself. That's the good thing, okay? And there's a difference between being an entrepreneur and an employee. You all are entrepreneurs. Now, you may also be an employee. That's okay. Jim Rohn talks about you work on your job full-time, you work on your fortune part-time. But the great thing about being an entrepreneur, there are things that are available to you that are not available to employees, like freedom. So you have the ability for your income to grow by multiplication, not just by addition, right? And so that's the beautiful thing about it. And you have the ability to leverage your time and efforts. So there is a difference between being an employee and an entrepreneur. I didn't have any coaches, mentors, or people who would direct and guide me. We didn't have this type of technology, right? So for me, it was, where could I drive? And I had to borrow the gas money, go hours away to try to find people that had the life that I wanted. Because if we buy people's opinion, we buy their lifestyle. And if they don't have what we want, why do we listen to them? So the good news is that today, like, I'm one of your associations. Your associations work harder on you than you work on them. They're like an elevator. They lift you up or they bring you down. So I had to ask myself, what are my associations doing to me, or what are they doing for me? And at that time, I didn't have that many associations. They were books or audio programs. Success is just around the corner. I was finally done. I'll never forget the day that I walked in. This is the time that we were actually in Toys R Us. And somebody approached me and I'm like, never again, no network marketing. They go, don't I know you? And I'm like, are you in this company? And they go, yes, are you? And I'm like, nope, but you all use the same stupid prospecting line. You don't know me. And I'm done. And what happened was, my little girl, we always wanted to go to Disney World. Okay? Or we always, growing up, we never went on vacation when I was a child. And so when we started having children, I knew that I wanted a better life for my family, but I didn't know exactly how to get that. And we started doing the same thing that my parents did. Someday, and I've got phenomenal parents. My dad passed away 8, 9, 10 years ago. I think it's 9 years ago now. And, but the challenge was we were always broke. And when he passed away, he was on his deathbed going, someday we'll do this and someday we'll do that. And someday never came. And so I learned that someday leads to a town called nowhere. But I also learned that some people's some days are other people's every days. And I remember driving my mom from the hospital right after my dad passed away, and we left the hospital, and she's bawling and crying. And she said, the next person that tells me money's not important, I'm going to smack them, because look at how much time it robbed our family. Look how much it robbed from our family having time together, and it's too late now. So for me, I wanted a better life for my family. I just didn't know how to do that. And I didn't have the right mentors and coaches. But the day that was my day of disgust was when we had this big Coca-Cola plastic piggy bank. We told my daughter, someday we'll go to Disney World. And we were putting change. That was our Disney World money. And one day she walked in and we started going through the change, just trying to find enough to eat. And she walks in and sees Dad taking her money for Disney World and runs out crying. And I remember going, how could I be this low? Like, how could I get to the point I'm taking my child's money? But that was the day I drew a line in the sand, right? And some of you are like, Darren, what does this have to do with recruiting? Everything, right? Because what I'm doing is I'm sharing with you my why, like what was driving me through the tough times, right? What helped me stay strong enough, long enough? These are life-changing tips for you. And I remember going, man, I can't believe I've gotten to this point. And someone told me, Darren, success is buried right underneath frustration. Success is buried right underneath frustration. And I remember going, well, I have to be close because I can't get any more frustrated than I am right now. And that was the day that I put on my wall, I will until. I will until. And from that point on, every time I felt like quitting, which was about 100 times a day, to be honest with you, being hot, honest, open, and transparent, I would rewind that through my mind, right? Going, I will until. They can quit on their family. I'm not going to quit on mine. So my failures, okay, or my failures led to my success. Okay, I meant to change that up top. My failures led to my success. So the great news, finally I stumbled across the right mentors that taught me what to do, what not to do. And here's the deal, you can't change your life overnight. However, you can change the direction of your life overnight. So I was determined. I changed my attitude till I will until. And then I'm like, why spend the years trying to figure out what to do right when you can learn from someone else that spent that time and shaved that time off your learning curve? That's where I can help you. Okay, I want to share with you what's taken me since 1991 to learn. I tell people I'm not a fast learner. I may not be fast, but I'm slow. All right, is what I'm going to teach you. Does it work? Yes, because not only does it work for me, it's worked for thousands of people around the world. Just my YouTube videos, people message me all the time from all around the world, over 50 countries, saying, look, I'm watching your content, I'm using it, here's what it's done for me and my business. And then thank God someone looked at me not as how I was, but how I could be with my God-given potential. And it completely changed my world. So if you don't believe in yourself, guess what? Borrow my belief in you until you have it for yourself. So how do you get the most out of the training? Make sure you're not distracted. Don't look at your phone, tell the kids to go in another room like I did. You put the dogs up like I did. Turn off those electronic devices and focus. Because take notes and act like you paid thousands for this training. Right? You're going to see in a slide a little bit later how much I have spent on coaches and courses and training just in the last 36 months. It'll blow your mind on what I've spent in the last 36 months. Okay, engage, ask questions, and have fun. So here's Regina in Winston-Salem. She goes, look, I personally, and here's, I believe documentation beats conversation. So I don't want you just taking my word for it. We just have a few of these sprinkled in. I've personally worked with Darren Kidd for 6 years. During that time, I've come to know him, trusted him as a trusted friend, an inspiring mentor. Darren's insights and knowledge have been invaluable in helping me reach top ranks, build a solid business, both locally and internationally. 3 key ingredients to recruiting. I spent a lot of time, let me get a quick sip of water. I spent a lot of time thinking about what I could give you within this hour that was going to impact you in your business. Some of these things may not seem like to you they're that big a deal, but everything was thought out. Everything on here, there's a reason for it. And I would encourage you to be coachable. Most people say, hey, look, I'm coachable. What they really mean, it's code for tell me what I want to hear, tell me what I'm comfortable with, but as soon as I share something with them that they don't really agree with or they don't think it's that important, then they become not that coachable. If it rubs you the wrong way, okay, if you immediately have some resistance to anything that I'm sharing with you, then it's probably meant for you. Because from my experience, it was meant for me. So knowing, these are the 3 things. We're going to start with knowing why you want to recruit and the importance of recruiting. Number 2, we're going to talk about exposure. What is it? How do you speed up your recruiting? How do you determine how fast you build your business? How do you determine how fast you reach your goals and your dreams? Number 3, the fortune is in the follow-up. Number 1, this is so important. Have you ever noticed that let me just ask you, as far as you, in your company, do you have the same tools available? You probably have the same website, the same video. Does the top money earner show a different website than you do? Nope, they all have the same website. Do the top leaders in your company have a different compensation plan than you do? Nope, they have the same compensation plan. So if they have the same tools, the same compensation plan, Do they have special products that no one else has? Hey, the top leaders have these products and everybody else gets some that are not as good. No, we all have the same thing. Like if you're in the company, you all have the same thing. What's the difference? It's you, right? It's me if I was in a company. So with here, what you do is we're all the messenger, we're not the message. We have to work on becoming the best messenger that we possibly can. That's what's so critical in building the business. It's not how you do it's not the how-tos, it's how you do the how-tos. It's your attitude, it's your philosophy, it's your belief in what you're doing. So why did I put this as number one? You need to know why you want to recruit. And by the way, even the techniques I'm going to teach you when it comes to prospecting and recruiting, they're going to help you with customers and things like that. And yes, customers are extremely important because that's where you get your residual income from. And a lot of times, the least path of resistance is letting somebody try the products and become a customer and they fall in love. And that's the easy recruit right there. But this is titled The Key Ingredients to Becoming a Recruiting Machine. So that's what I'm going to focus on. And you know, what you focus on grows. And where your focus goes, energy flows. I didn't really want to be the number one customer getter in my companies. I'm like, we get customers and we get customer getters. I want to have the most customer getters that I possibly can. Because let's face it, if you can put in 5 hours a week into your business, which all of you definitely can do that or you wouldn't even be on here. And let's say you recruit 5 people who can put 5 hours each, and we know it doesn't work perfect like that, but let's just use this for an example. You work 5, you recruit 5 people that work 5, that's 25. You're getting paid 30 hours, you're only putting in 5. If you duplicate that one more time, those 25 get 5, you're only working 5 hours a week, but you're getting paid on 155 hours a week. Most people look for work. Wealthy people build networks. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki, best-selling business author of all times. He talks about most people teach your kids, go to school, get good grades, get a good job, and work for money. Wealthy people teach your children, you develop assets that throw off cash, have money work for you. So if you want the time freedom and the financial freedom, you have to develop assets. So I know people that make a lot of money, they have no time. Like doctors. Then I've got some friends and family, a whole lot of time, they have no money. I wanted to be able to have both. If your income depends on just you, that's called scary. My dad was one of the best in the world at restoring cars. He was in car magazines. The day he found out he had a rare type of leukemia, his income stopped that day. The last 3 years of his life, that was the number one stress and strain, money. So I don't want my income depending just on me. What if you get sick? What if you get downsized, right size, capsized? So when you develop assets that throw off cash, it's not just about you. That's why J. Paul Getty, one of the first recorded billionaires in history, said I would much rather get paid 1%, just 1%, off of 100 people's efforts than 100% effort of my own. You gain market share. So when your company, when they're expanding, when they're adding products, when they're opening countries in different markets, the bigger your team, all of a sudden you're making whatever you're making per month, and they go, hey, we have a brand new breakthrough product. Boom, you've got 5 people, 10 people, 20 people or more on your team. What do you think happens to your income? Because it's not just you. You have a group of people that are out there spreading the same message. So the definition of wealth in network marketing is to get a large group of people doing a few simple things over a consistent period of time. If your company expands into another country, I remember in one company that I was in for almost 7 years, they're like, we're going to open up the first country, I think it was Mexico. I'm like, man, I don't know anybody in Mexico. But if I build local and I just keep recruiting, I'll go global eventually. Massive team in Mexico. Then there were Korea. The whole talk was about Korea. I'm like, man, I don't know anyone in Korea. Like, I've never even been to a Korean restaurant at that time, right? Massive team in Korea. You know who you know, but you don't know who they know. So when you start building a team, okay, the way I look at it, that's my net. And as I build my net bigger and bigger and bigger, the more growth I'm going to capture of the company. All ships rise with the tide. You just have to make sure your ship is in the water, right? So if you have a ship and it's in the water, and the more ships you have, okay, the more you have rising with the tide, so you can gain market share. Another tip that if you just heard the one thing, it was worth your whole hour of time being on here. Not even counting the freemium, okay, I call it freemium, the objection blaster I'm going to give you at the very end of this, which can make you a lot of money. For those that stay on to the very end, you're getting that objection blaster, okay, is my gift to you. There's so many little golden nuggets that I'm going to give you that can change your business. This is one that changed mine. Another one. The same group that gets you to one level is not the same group that gets you to the next level. What we tend to do where people make a mistake is they stop doing what they did that got them where they are. They get in, they go recruit a few people, and they get excited, then they go into management mode. And then they just start trying to push those people harder and harder and harder, and it doesn't work. The same group that got you to one rank is most likely not the same group that gets you to the next rank, and so on and so forth. Now, they may lead you to some people, but it's important to stay in that phase one, the next part, building that phase one as you're getting customers and getting customer getters. That's the building phase. If you go into management phase, eventually you're going into survival phase, survival mode. Every organization, McDonald's, my church, every organization will grow to maturity, level off, and start to decline. If McDonald's stopped hiring people, eventually they're going to go out of business because people quit, they don't show up, whatever the reason, get mad at the manager. If my church, if they stop bringing new people in, guess what? It's only a matter of time before it's gone. People get mad at the pastor, they get mad at each other, they pass away, they get sick, they relocate. There's so many different reasons, but every organization, if you don't keep that new energy, the new people coming in, eventually it starts to level off and it's going to start to decline. Now, with your organization, as long as you stay in phase one, getting customers and customer getters, eventually it compounds at a very rapid pace, and you couldn't stop it if you want to, but just do not, make sure you're staying in phase one. Let's just leave it at that. So the same group that gets you to one level is not the same group that gets you to the next level. Let me, again, be hot with you, honest, open, and transparent. One of the companies I was in for 13 years, I got in the same time as a buddy of mine. I went out, I got excited, I would recruit people, and then I'd go into management mode. And eventually, when I got frustrated because I wasn't rank advancing and my income wasn't going up, and I would go back and start over. Okay, man, I shouldn't have been in management mode. That same group is not the group that gets me to the next level. Just 3 years later, 36 months later, I was making a six-figure income, right? But the friend of mine that every month, he acted like he was starting over. So there was what they call fast start qualifying, okay, where you recruit 3 people in your first 30 days and you get a bonus. He pretended like he was new every month. 36 months later, I was making 100,000. He was making 1.7 million because he just created 17 different little organizations like mine, right? But he didn't get out of phase one. If you went to college, you'd be tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands in debt 3 years later. You wouldn't even be out of college, right? And you'd be playing the resume game. He just treated it like a minimum wage job. He just stayed in that phase one. So I hope that makes sense and you're getting value. Here's Chick about being coachable. Chick has a very successful insurance company, and he goes, thanks to Darren's training, I'm finally able to achieve success in network marketing after failing in 5 other companies. I'm currently a successful 6-figure earner in the insurance industry, but I realized success was completely different. I needed Darren to help me learn new skills specific to my new business, and he has helped me do just that. See, that's what I love. Someone that says, look, I've done insurance. It's a multiple 7-figure yearly insurance agency, but I don't know this. So tell me what to do and I'll do it. And that's exactly what he did. Let me give you some things to remember when you're going through the prospecting and recruiting process. First of all, recruiting is a process. People go, Darren, things are not happening. It's not working for me. And I go, tell me what's going on. Well, I went out and I talked to 10 people and no one got started. Well, if you went out today and you planted a garden and you cultivated the ground and you watered those seeds, would you show up the very next day and going, man, what is going on? I planted the seeds and cultivated the ground and I watered the seeds all yesterday. and there's no harvest today, of course you wouldn't. Why do we think this business is any different? A big part of my success during my career was when other people would quit, I would just stay in. And I'd be like, I'm still here, and finally, eventually, when they hear multiple exposures and they're ready and things change, the people that initially told them about the products, the services, the companies, whatever it was, they were looking for someone to enroll them, and I was still in the game. So recruiting is a process. Jim Rohn says you're looking for the lookers. What does that mean? Some of you are like me. You're going, man, I know this person will be so good. If I could just get them, I could retire. Oh my gosh, they know everyone. And you're just sitting there, you're shaking them going, come on. And they could even need it, by the way. I don't work with people that need it. I work with people that want it. We've talked about some people, you throw them the life jacket, they won't even grab it. You're looking for the lookers. You do not want to drag them into the business or force them to buy your products, because if you have to drag them into the business, you got to drag them through the business, and you're not happy and they're not happy. Posture. This is extremely important. When I first got started, I would chase you from state to state and beg you to join my business. I'm like, come on. I would offer to pay your way. I would offer to place people underneath of you, right? That is not posture. That's chasing people. Posture, the best way for me to explain posture is you're busy. You're busy. Name any top professional. I don't care if it's an insurance agent, if it's your dentist, it's your doctor, it's your chiropractor, it's whatever. Maybe it's a contractor. If you call them up and go, hey, look, I want you to look at building our dream home, and they go, come by anytime. I'm in my office every day. We really don't have a lot of work, so we would love to be able to have something to do. You would not go there. Or same thing with your chiropractor, your dentist, or whatever. Successful people, they're busy. So you have to have some urgency. And in your mind, let me just share with you this. If you don't believe what you're doing, why are you doing it? So in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I have the solution to their problems. So do your products, do they help people's health? Do they help their finances? Maybe save money, protect them? Because I know there's one service that, like, it's a legal protection. They help protect them, not only their identity, but in legal situations. Maybe you help them, with their health, whatever it may be. If you had the cure for cancer, would there be anyone that you didn't tell? You would tell everyone, because even if they didn't have it, they would know someone that did have it. So you're going to have posture going, listen, man, I got the solution to their problem. Don't say that to them, right? But that's it. Now I don't decide if I want to try to get you in my business. I decide if I want to let you in my business. So you have to remember, be busy, have some urgency. The goal is to be the messenger and not the message. So just be the best messenger that you can. And I'm going to talk to you about that when we talk about third-party tools. Another key reminder, you're getting paid now on what you did 90 days ago. You're getting paid now on what you did 90 days ago. 90 days from now, you will be getting paid on what you do now. That's critical. And it's not just about getting excited for a couple days and then doing nothing for a week. Momentum, hard to get, but it's easy to advance. An airplane uses most of its fuel taking off, but when it gets to cruising altitude, it cuts back. So if your car ran out of gas, you're trying to get it out of the highway, and you're giving it everything you can, it's in neutral, you slip, you slide, you skin your knee, you're sweating, finally you get that car moving. But once you get it moving, you can take one hand and continue to push it. That's the way your business works. The hardest part is getting it off the ground. But once you get it moving, it's easy to advance it. It's also easy to lose it if you don't know the right things to do. And again, later on, I'll teach you how to take that to the next level to help you with that for those that are interested. All right, so the goal is to, think about in 90-day increments. I know myself, I'm like, man, I can do anything for 90 days. So if you can be consistent and persistent, I'm not saying you have to work 100 hours a week, but persistent, consistent for 90 days, focus on the activities and not the results. Some of you need to hear that right now, and you need to record me saying that one part and play it 50 times a day. Focus on the activities and not the results. The results will discourage you. But if you do the right activities, eventually the results will come. Now, if you're not getting the results that you should and you're doing the activity, you got to look at Okay, either I'm not doing something enough or I'm not doing something right. I can help you on that as well. But think about 90 days. Some of you are like, well, I wasn't doing anything for the last 90 days. Well, that's probably why your check is what it is right now. That's probably why your team is where it is right now. But the good news, one 90-day run can completely change your world. So be persistent and consistent, and very important, keep a good attitude. You can't be like, droopy dog, that makes me mad. You can't have that kind of attitude and sit there and go, I was persistent, I was consistent, but my attitude is terrible. Not going to get you where you want to be. But if you have all three of those things, remember, if you're like me and most people, you're going to be bad before you're good. So my thing was, I want to hurry up and get it out of the way. Like I want to move fast. If you're launching a franchise, you invested hundreds of thousands of dollars to get that franchise up and going. You want to launch it. You want to explode your business from the start. And it's easier to do that, to be honest with you. And for me going, look, if I'm going to be bad before I'm good, I want to get it out of the way, compress time frames, and just get there sooner than later. And so what you're going to do, it's like a rocket is off track on the way to the moon, but it continues to readjust. So the things I'm teaching you, you're going to go, okay, I'm going to do them, and then I need to plan, do, review. Like Darren, you said way too much. Next time, zip it. Next time, you need to make sure you're using a third-party tool. So you continue to get better and better and better and better. Those little things you do on a daily basis that seem to make no difference at all in the act of doing them, they compound over a period of time. So the things you're doing on a daily basis may seem like they're not doing anything, like it's not even happening. But again, focus on those activities and the results will come. Bev out of Alabama. Okay, Beverly said, Darren Kidd taught me to focus on the activities and the results would come, and to be prepared everywhere you go to seize the moment and tell your story. In the company that my husband and I have been in since October 2018, we sponsored into our business over 30% of the people we shared our trial packs with, rank advanced 5 levels in our first 5 months. See, that's what I'm talking about. Documentation beats conversation. I want to help you create your story. And by the way, the good news about your story in this profession, you can restart it at any time. You could say, hey, look, I've been playing with my business for 2 years. I got on this training with Darren and something clicked and I made a decision. And it was that day I said, I've had enough and I was ready to take my business to the next level. Let me tell you what I did the next 30, 60, 90 days that changed everything. So let's go to point number 2. Exposure is everything. Not some things, everything. What is our goal? Our goal is to take people from not knowing about what you do to knowing. It's pretty simple when you think about it. We complicate it. It takes a genius to keep it simple. It takes a genius to keep it simple. In your notes, I would put down basics create wealth. Fancy equals death because fancy does not duplicate. Anybody ever seen the movie Hitch with Will Smith, Kevin James, right? And the part where he's trying to teach him, it's my favorite part, about the how to dance, okay? And he starts to teach him, and Kevin James like, nah, I don't need you to show me. I know I can do this, right? And then I can do this, and I can make the pizza, and I can do the Q-tip. And Will Smith smacks him, and he says, don't ever do that again. Okay, can you imagine if Will Smith was with you and every time you messed up, he smacked you and said, don't ever do that again? That would probably help us quite a bit, wouldn't it? But he said, this is where you live right here. And it's hard to do it in this chair, those who have seen the video, but he's just going back and forth. Like, this is where you live. Don't make no pizza. Don't do no Q-tips. Don't do any of the whatever you're doing, the running man. This is where you live. When it comes to building a big team, that's where you live. Very simple, very basic. Get a large group of people to do a few simple things over a consistent period of time. I don't want 10 ninjas that know everything about the product. They're scientists, they're health experts, they're professional speakers, they're coaches. I don't want that. I want an army of rookies that do a few simple things. And you go, well, does it work? Well, you saw some of the things that have happened in my business, right? What we've been able to do, not just for me, but a bunch of other people. Of course it works. It takes a genius to keep it simple. Take them from not knowing to knowing. Your exposures are your miles per hour. How fast do you want to get to where you're going? If you're doing one exposure a day, it's going to take you a little while. What's an exposure? Sharing the information via a third-party tool we'll talk about on the next slide. That's exposure. Okay, so your exposures are your miles per hour. An airplane uses most of its fuel taking off, right? But when it's the cruising altitude, it cuts back. What if you got into the plane, you're getting ready to get on your next flight, and you told the pilot, let's try something different. Have you ever tried to take off really slow? The pilot's going to be like, no, and I'm not going to. That would not turn out well. Well, the same thing that happens in our business. I would rather go out there and massive exposures. If you were launching your franchise and you go, hey, look, we're going to have a grand opening, you wouldn't invite one person a day. So as long as you're happy with the results, then you can keep doing what you're doing. But to get something different, we have to do something different. Your exposures are your miles per hour. Big numbers equal big results. Small numbers equal small results. Big numbers equal big results. Small numbers equal small results. Sinaloa, safety in numbers and law of averages. Safety in numbers and law of averages. When I learned this one thing from Jim Rohn, you can make up in numbers what we lack in skill. It changed the whole game for me. It changed everything. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, it took the pressure off. Let's say that you're so good. You talk to 10 people and 9 say yes. I talk to 10 people, I'm so bad, 1 says yes. You talk to 10, you got 9. I can still beat you. I can go talk to 100 and get 10. I can make up in numbers what I lack in skill. That's the beautiful thing about it, right? And then the more numbers you do, the better you get. Next thing you know, people are like, whoa, you're not even the same person. When I learned that, it changed everything. So if you go, look, I want to go out and recruit 2 to 5 people a month. Well, you'll figure out your numbers. Maybe you talk to 40, 50 through social media, through meeting them in person, through networking events, through different ways, phone calls. You talk to 40 to 50 and you go, wow, 10 people that look at information because I'm new and I'm just learning. 1 person gets started every 10 people that look at our video, and I take them through the process. That I know I need 20 people this month to get 2 recruits to look at information. And then your numbers will improve. Next thing you know, you're getting 2 or 3 out of 10, and you're getting 4 or 5 out of 10. Next thing you know, you don't have to talk to 40 to get 10 to commit to look at something. You're talking to 30. And so your numbers will improve, but just keep in mind, you're probably going to be bad before you're good. You're going to get a little bit better every single day. The things you're doing on a daily basis, man, I'm talking to, 2 to 5 people a day, or I'm exposing 2 to 5 people a day through social media, through Facebook groups, through conference calls, through Zooms, through in-home parties. It's not that big a deal. Over a period of time, it's a big deal. If you just expose 2 people a day, 5 days a week, that's 40 a month. That's 480 in a year. Now, when I was training and on the go and built a team of several 100,000 people in one company, and again, it's not one person, okay? You introduce people that introduce people. It's a team effort, right? I mean, you don't build a team of that big by yourself, but the point is you lead the field. And I used to say, look, 2 a day is spare time, 3 to 5 a day, part-time. If you're full-time and you want to crush it, 10 a day. Just don't tell your team you're doing 10 a day because you'll overwhelm them, right? So you control how fast. And now with social media, the beautiful thing about it, like you can meet a couple people while you're out and about. You can connect people through Facebook groups. If your company or your team has a Facebook group, like you could do in-home parties. There's so many things you can do when it comes to leverage. You can have Zooms, right? So where someone's doing a Zoom for you and you invite 5, 10, 15 people and they all heard the story of your product, services, and opportunity on one Zoom. But big numbers equal big results. Small numbers equal small results. Say less to more people. Say less to more people. Some of you right now, you're like, I'm glad he can't see me because I'm going, amen. I need to say less to more people, or my team needs to say less to more people because my team, they'd be verbally vomiting all over people. And guess what? We've all done that. I train on not to do that, and I've done that. Just being transparent, right? It's hard not to do when you're excited, when you believe in what you're doing. But trust me, it is much better to say less. You ever seen the movie Master of Disguise, where he said, this is what you're doing and this is what I want you to do? Well, this is what I want you to do. I want you to say less to more people. Amateurs convince, professionals sort. Amateurs convince, professionals sort. Instead of begging that person for 30 minutes because you know they need it, why not spend 3 minutes with 10 people promoting a third-party tool? And then you go, look, I'm looking for the lookers. You're looking for the person when you follow up that says, thank God you gave this to me. You sent this to me. I've been praying for it. What took you so long? Sell without selling, third-party tools. If you want to duplicate, and I don't have time to get into a whole duplication training, obviously, because we're almost at the end. But if you want to duplicate, you have to use third-party tools. Most people hate sales. If you're a great salesperson, they go, of course, you're having success because you're a great salesperson. I hate sales. If you were financially, if you have a lot of money, then they're going, of course, because you have a big influence. You're very successful. I've never had success in business before. The only way you duplicate is third-party tools. You point to something else that does the presentation for you. What is the Hollywood movie technique? I gave it that name just so you would remember it. You're the commercial to get them to watch the movie. You're the commercial to get them to watch the movie. Be the messenger, not the message. Don't look at me. Look at this. Here's a huge tip for you when it comes to duplication in your organization. People are looking at you. 80% of their training is how you bring them on board. They're looking at you going, can I do what you do? Do I want to do what you do? Do I have time to do what you do? And do I want to do to my friends, family, and neighbors what you just did to me? Okay. Can I do what you do? Do I want to do what you do? Do I have time to do what you do? And do I want to do to my friends, family, and neighbors what you just did to me? That's a key to duplication. You should be able to go, hey, all I do is get people to watch the video exactly like I'm getting you to watch it. And they go, oh, that was simple. So third-party tools, be the messenger and not the message. And then all I know is, when they ask you a question, all I know is point them to that third-party tool. Quick question for you. Are you having some light bulb moments right now? Okay, are any of you like, wow, I needed to hear some of these things right now? Okay, anybody? And can you see how some of these things will completely change the way you start to do your business? And it's very important that you think about that. The fortune is in the follow-up. Number 3, it takes 5 to 8 exposures for people to accept any information, good or bad. My goal has always been, let me take them through the 5 to 8 exposures as fast as I can without losing my posture, right? And then until they recruit or sell themselves. So this is how many exposures it takes all of us to accept any information, good or bad. So if you take them, they watch a video, they saw the website, you did a 3-way call or a 3-way chat and messenger with your upline. It takes 5 to 8 exposures. Don't think that, oh, I talked to them about it, they didn't say they were in, next person. I never take them off my list, ever, unless they make me mad or I don't want to work with them. Just telling you that right now. So take them from exposure to exposure without chasing them or losing your posture. And there's a lot of follow-up techniques. I'll give you another place you can go get those, but right now we need to keep moving. What do you say when following up? Pretty simple. I don't ask people what they think because people don't buy on logic, they buy on emotion. If you go, what do you think about the president? What do you think about politics? You will wish you never asked those questions. What did you like best? Product, business, or a little bit of both? And they tell you. Okay, what did you like? What caught your attention the most? Product, business, or both? And they tell you there's no way to judge. There's people I go, man, they'll only be interested in product. They were interested in the business, and vice versa. What caught your attention the most? Product, business, or both? What did you like best? Product, business, or both? And then you zip it. This is what you're doing. This is what I want you to do. Listen. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as we talk. The cowboy pitch. I just put this in here because this is another $1 million nugget. There was a cowboy on my team. Him and another friend of mine used to be in a company. They sold water filters. The other friend of mine, very detailed, talked about the science, talked about this, failed. This cowboy on my team, he walked like a little penguin, had a big cowboy hat, had a big southern drawl. And they would ask my smart friend, how does it work? And he explained the science didn't work. They asked my cowboy friend on my team, how does this stuff work? Back when he was in that water filter company. He would say this, all I know is the dirty water goes in the top, the clean water comes out the bottom, and all my smart friends are buying one. Let me repeat that again. All I know is the dirty water goes in the top, the clean water comes out the bottom, and all my smart friends are buying one. He made millions, and every one of the companies started saying what he said, all I know is. When they ask a question, all I know is, point them to something else that answers their question. Point them to your upline, point them to a three-way call, point them to a three-way chat, because you want them knowing they can do what you do. Remember to use posture, and last but not least, work with the willing. It is easier to run with 1,000 people than drag one dead body. Don't look back unless you want to go that way, right? You work with the willing. I call it checkerboard management. You make a move, I make a move. Like I match them in energy for energy. I'll even make 2 moves as long as you at least participate. Here's another testimonial, good friend of mine. He goes, I've shared the stages with some of the top legends in network marketing for over 20 years. No one has had a bigger impact on my personal life, mindset, encouragement, business growth, and leadership like Darren Kidd. Now listen, it's not about me, it's about the information. Like some of you are like, oh my gosh, some of this stuff is life-changing. And I agree with you, right? I agree with you, it's life-changing. It's not mine. Like it's what I've learned since 1991. It's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. And so I believe documentation beats conversation. And I know some of you, we talked about taking it to the next level, locking arms with me. We've had some fun so far. That's true. Okay, hopefully you've had some fun. You've learned some vital things to help you in the prospecting and recruiting process. You've learned 3 key ingredients to becoming a recruiting machine. And you can already see whether or not you can relate to my style of teaching. Yes, I've had to talk fast because we have a lot to cover in a short period of time. First of all of you, this is a special moment because you have the ability to be a founding member of a new program, okay? And so what I want to do is I want to go over with you exactly what's in my new course, okay? It's called Blueprint to Success in Network Marketing and how it can help you. If you're like me, I do not like to be pressured. If you pressure me, I'm done. So if what you see, okay, in the next couple slides is a fit for you, great. I want you to get it. And if it's not, I don't want you to get it. Okay, so it's that simple. I'm just going to share with you what's included. Lucas in North Carolina. If it wasn't for Darren Kidd, I would have never had any success in relationship marketing. Certainly wouldn't have had the skills or the head game to open up a traditional business either. So excited about what he has brought and is about to bring to the table. Blueprint to Success. Here's what it is. It is a virtual course. I will teach you exactly what you need to know to position yourself and build a successful network marketing business. I'm going to personally, and this is a video virtual course. So each module is a video of me training, teaching directly to you. I'll personally walk you through exactly what you need, whether you're brand new in network marketing or you're an experienced network marketer, okay? Because and you're ready to take your business to the next level. What most people forget, especially leaders, we forget that 80% of the production that comes from our team is a brand new person. So it's always important to keep in mind that brand new person. So if you want to lock arms with me and me teach you some things that have taken me since 1991, I'm more than happy to help you. Okay, let's get started. Bonus. Okay, this is a bonus in the course. This is worth the entire course by itself. This is taught to me by the late billionaire Paul J. Meyer, who had 40 companies in 60 countries that did billions of dollars. He gave away $400 million to charity. That was the last count. And then he was paying for over 1,000 kids a year to go to college. So the late billionaire Paul J. Meyer had one of the top leadership gurus in the world come to him and say, look, I don't understand. Some of you are thinking the same thing when I say it. Why is there more information available than ever before on our smartphone, on your computer? You can Google, and you don't have enough time in your life to read. but there are things on health, wealth, finances, relationships, but there's more people struggling with each of those areas. It's because the magic ingredient that I teach you, that is a bonus that will change every aspect of your life. And when I had to come up with values for each of these modules, that was the hardest part for me, because I'm like, this is not a $499 value. This, if I had to pay $10,000, I would have paid it because it changed every aspect of my life, not just business. Module 1, okay? 3 things that you have to be successful. And every person that you bring in has to be successful. That's $147 value. And again, I was putting these values on there going, man, what kind of value could I put on there? I'm like, well, if I didn't know these 3 things, I wouldn't have been successful. So it's actually worth a whole lot more than that, but let's just put $147 value on it. Okay, so do you want to be successful in your business? These 3 things are really the attributes of what it really takes to be successful. Personal development and why it's essential. Okay, this is the glue that holds you and your team together. And I didn't get that for a long time. I thought it was just about the how-tos. When in reality, the personal development is what helps people stick in the business, grow every day, because we don't make what we want, we make what we are. If we want to have more, we have to become more. At least a $300 value. Your why. I dig deep into this on this video module, very deep, and explain to you what it really means when we magnetize the condition that we seek, and how science backs all of it up. Okay, so if you don't understand this one thing, it's hard to stay strong enough, long enough to get to the how-tos. The how-tos are pretty simple, right? And I give you how-tos on this course. That one, $499 value. The business mindset. This is what I was talking about. People going, you need to treat it like a business. I didn't know what that meant. So it's important, because that mindset is the philosophy that helps you continue to build that big business. Module 5, okay, the truth about what to expect. It is a process you need to understand. This is the difference in me and a lot of other trainers that I see. They don't teach what I teach on this module. But when I teach people what I teach on this module, they come back later and go, man, if I hadn't heard that from you, I would have thought I was doing things wrong. I would have quit my business a long time ago. Thank God you showed me exactly what you showed me on this module. It's the first time I've ever put it in a module. Duplication. I had one guy that was on my team that would not listen to what I taught him on duplication. 10 years later, he still was not duplicating. He's still in that same company. He still has to go out and produce every single day. If you want to duplicate to where it's not all about you, where you don't just have a business that's people dependent, system. You want a business that's system dependent, not people dependent. And there's very simple things that you can do, because simple duplicates that I teach you in this module about duplication. Okay, you want others to be able to do exactly what you do. Why recruiting? I go into recruiting in depth. I go over prospecting, like where do you find people to talk to? What do you say to the people, right? This module 8, I spend quite a bit of time teaching you all of that. Presenting, module 9, talk about what tools, how to use them, how to make sure it's duplicatable. Module 10, follow-up. If you're not doing the right things when following up and saying the right things and keeping the right posture. Obviously, on this webinar, this training, we had very limited time. I go into detail on the fortune and the follow-up. Leadership tips. This is a bonus. You want to be the best leader, because your team will do what you do, not what you say. I give you some leadership tips on how to go out there and crush your business. And so if you failed, you're one step closer to success. And to me, the only way you can fail is you quit, right? Because my attitude now is I don't fail. I either win or I learn. And I've spent 7 years doing the wrong things. I don't want you to have to spend years doing the wrong things to finally find out what to do. So that's why I want to teach you on this course. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what's the price? Well, right now, if you said, Darren, I want you to coach me because I just did this with some people, I don't even really like to do it because it ties me down. It's a minimum of $1,000 an hour for me to coach someone. And to spend a VIP day with me, 10 grand. This is the price I told you I've spent in the last 36 months, $75,000. My wife went back through all our taxes, $75,111 in coaching courses, seminars in the last 3 years. And I believe this program is equally, if not more valuable, because it taught me how to build the teams. What I teach you is what I did to build the teams that I've built and have the success that I've had. Now, keep in mind, I've learned these things since 1991. I've built old school with no social media. I've built new school with social media. I've personally recruited over 1,000 people in my career, built massive teams, and made multiple seven figures. So let's break it down. Magic ingredient, if you look add up all of these, it's about $3,488 in value. And there's more on the next slide. A bonus for all of you as founding members, because I'm just launching this course. This is only going to be up for a short period of time. $3,488. It's going on my site in the next couple weeks, a minimum of $397, if not $497. Okay, you'll be able to check my site in the next couple weeks. You're going to see it a minimum of $397, maybe even $497, because I've been looking at courses and they don't have a fraction of what I put in this one for a lot more. For all of you that are helping me, this founder special, right? You're helping me launch this course. It's only $297. That's a third of the price of my iPhone, if not only a fourth of the price of my iPhone. But here's what I'm going to do for all of you. One step more. Those of you that purchase by midnight tonight, in the next couple weeks, you're going to get a private invitation on a Zoom. Okay, we're all on there. It's going to be an exclusive group. You can't invite anyone else. It is just for you. Okay, I'm going to do a training because most people think that you talk to the construction worker, the single mom, the same way you do the multimillionaire entrepreneur. And that's not the case. You have to talk to them differently. So one of the key things that helped me explode my business was learning the art of recruiting up. Learning how to talk to influencers, where you could get one influencer come on your team and bring more people on in a 30-day period than most people could in several years. So I'm like, you know what? People are not really training and teaching on that. So you will all be, those that purchase by midnight, you get an invitation to that training. And that's about a $749 value. It's probably, the value of that course, that is going to be worth as much as the other one, if not many times more. Because I'm going to not only go over the training, but I'm going to take live Q&A at the end. And even if you can't make the live, you alone are going to get the recording. We're going to figure a way to password protect it to where no one else can watch this but the ones that purchase by midnight tonight. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to add jet fuel to your business and how to talk to anyone and everyone, how to recruit up, how to speed up your business. Here are your next steps. You can screenshot this if you would like. And then I'm going to tell you how to get your freebie that I'm giving all of you for showing up, just for showing up today here on the next couple slides. You can screenshot this, go to darrenkidd.com/special. Select your payment option. You'll be emailed the details. Okay, we even have support that's going to be available as well, support@darrenkidd.com, or you can reply to one of the emails. But we're putting all that together. They're in the process. As I'm doing this right now, they're putting the class together. But darrenkidd.com/special, you purchase, you will get an email with details on how to log into the classroom and how to go through each individual module. And we will include those bonuses. And then we will pull a report of everyone that orders by midnight tonight. Now I'm going to do that every time zone because I know that some of you are in different time zones. Well, no, 12 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Eastern. And so what you want to do is make sure you get that in. Then we'll invite you in the next couple of weeks to that private training. There's no risk. After you go through this entire course, we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you go, you know what? I don't think it was worth it. You have a 30-day money-back guarantee. After you go through the course, I want you to commit to go through the course though. So there's virtually no risk involved. That's how confident I am that there's no way you can't do that and go, this training was one of the most powerful trainings in my life. This training changed my business. This training is going to change my life. Okay, that's how confident I am. So 30-day money-back guarantee, darrenkidd.com/special. And again, I love people to take action. That's why we have the promotion till midnight. I love people that are willing to invest in themselves because that's how I've gotten where I have. Do not wait. You've now seen the crazy amount of value offered in the program. Take advantage of the special. My gift to you, this objection blaster that I just got today, it is great. Like this alone, this is free to all of you that have stayed on to the very end. We're going to pull a report. We know if you stayed on to the end, and you're going to get this. Okay, we're going to email this out to you in the next couple of days, but it's called the Objection Blaster. And we're going to give you the link. You can download it. And I just thought about, okay, what are some of the things that have helped me recruit more, get more customers? So this is great. I was so happy when I got it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this turned out so great. So again, if you're watching the replay, when you purchase, it will be available in the back office when you log in, okay, if you're watching the replay. Build your future. The definition of insanity is doing what you've always done and expecting to get something different. To get something different, we must do something different. We can't change our life overnight, but we dang sure can change the direction of our life overnight. And so what I wouldn't do is, like, hey, I would act now. Let's lock arms. I can't wait to have your testimonials, because what I want you to do is you go through that course, right? I want to be able to highlight you on my future programs with what's happening in your business. I want to highlight your story. So really appreciate everybody that's taken time to join this training. I hope you got some great value. I can't wait to hear the success stories. Make sure you order by midnight tonight to be a part of the Founder Special and to get access to the free training that I will be emailing out in the next couple of weeks, a live Q&A, all of that. And again, thank you so much. Take care.